So hi, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you both?
Hi, KB. How are you?
I'm doing well. Listen, I've seen the first 5 episodes, and boy, are we on a ride. I'm really loving it so far.
Thank
Um,
you.
so my first question is for you, Chris. So, whose character arc did you find the most challenging to kind of craft over, the course of this season? And also, which character did you find yourself kind of rooting for the most that really surprised you?
Wow, that's a very good question. I mean, first of all, these scripts, and hopefully you'll get a chance to see the next three soon enough. These scripts were so hard to create a balance between what's going on in the club, the drug war going on outside of the club, the stuff with Burton that has a comedic edge to it. It was very difficult. And as Guillermo will tell you, we rewrote the scripts, hundreds of times, me and Michael Paynes, who was a primary writer on this, as well as our Alfredo Barrios. And so for me, the journey of Roman is super interesting. His son Maurice was the one who told me that his father ran this club. There are highly fictionalized elements in the show as well, but I think every one of the characters is on this journey here, journey of discovery. Roman discovering that, despite his decision to estrange himself from his brother because of his brother's drug dealing, Roman may turn out to have instincts that make him just as good or better a drug dealer than his brother. His brother, we think his brother's in it for the money and the loot and the cars and all that, but we may discover other motives later. Roman's daughter, is coming of age and starting to have, awakenings of her own. So all of the characters in the show move through the course of the 8 episodes, making discoveries about themselves. And so as a writer, that's fun to explore. But I can't tell you this, it was just hard as heck to write this thing. And I'm lucky I had a partner here who could translate, what he says is the overly dialogued scenes into into a film language that makes it very exciting to watch.
Well, let me say, Roman's journey is one that surprised me the most, and I'm glad that you said that because his prowess for the drug game is not something that I was expecting, but he is a businessman, right? And he has a business mind, a very sharp business mind. And so the way he perceives things is so interesting to me. So yeah.
Well, also in the very first episode, we dropped this thing in. The character Chucho says, basically he's a sissy, and Nestor, his brother, says, no, this guy took out a whole battalion on Playa Giron. So you have a little hint of the military aspect of Roman that will reveal itself further down the line.
I like that. And the secrets that he's holding close to his chest, because, Roman is a vault, I think.
Yes,
And
yes,
for you,
very much.
Guillermo, can you talk a little bit about just the challenges with directing the pilot specifically and really being able to kind of set the entire tone for the series and what we see thus far?
Yeah, that was a great privilege. The opportunity to not only is to create this world where even we documented very well the word. I lived through it, but it is an exacerbated version of what those 70s were. It is like who wouldn't want to drop there and take it all in. And so it was a very fun experience of gathering all these elements to create the space for this drama to take place and make it super attractive, fun with music, sexuality, and all these crazy relationships that are doing it. And also the way to narrate the story. It is it's a pilot that doesn't stop, that keeps you hooked to the very end. And it ends in a way that it hooks you for what happens after. So it is a very interesting way to have permanent conflict with your characters and see how they get out of it, how all the struggle, that is not only personal, it's also in a larger scale, social and political. So it has all these ingredients. No?
It does. And honestly, a lot more comedy than I expected because I've seen Mark in a lot of roles, but in this role as Burton, he brings a lot of comedic elements also to the forefront that are really good.
Right, and that was a little frightening at moments to the network because they were wondering about the balance. They certainly supported it, but they were like, "Hey, be careful here." And I think we struck the right balance. I mean, he's hysterical, and I also think a show that deals with these heavy, violent businesses also needs to be leavened with some humor. And also, Guillermo's, not doing himself enough justice. He was the guy I thought should direct this pilot from the very beginning because a pilot is the world building. It sets the stage for every director who follows the tone, the visual style, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I had it in my gut that he was going to be the person who would do this best. He did. And also what he did was trade upon all the years of experience he's had making films all over the world, both with Guillermo del Toro and on his own. And so we had a crew that was just the best of the best from all over the world, in particular Latin America, which is where we were shooting. So we can't give the crew short shrift. They were A plus in every department. Those costumes, the production design, we built that club. That doesn't exist there. So all of that stuff was in my mind to his credit.
So, hi, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are each of you?
How
Great,
are
how
you?
are
I'm
you?
good.
Oh, doing well, doing well. Listen, I've seen the first five out of eight, and let me tell you, you guys are taking me on a journey. I'm absolutely loving it. And like, as soon as this is over, I'm like, when can I build in time in my schedule to finish? Because it's so, so good. I'm like addicted.
Thank
So,
you. Amazing.
so here we go. Like Roman keeps secrets from every single one of your characters. And even though he's keeping these kind of deep secrets in the name of protection, I'll put that in quotes, he also knows just how integral like Valeria, Janice, and Marisol really, really are in his life. So can you talk a little bit about kind of what your characters learned from Roman and what do you think they teach Roman throughout the course of this season and as he kind of ventures deeper and deeper into the family business? And I'll start with you, Corina.
Yeah.
What do you think his daughter Valeria kind of teaches him, on this journey? And
I think honestly, I think she really puts him in his place. I feel like she really does. I think that uh she knows him super well and and she knows when something's wrong and she's like I know you're hiding something. Like I know something's going on. And I think that she really learns um from him how to care. I think he's really, really loving. I mean, he's doing all this for his family. And I think she definitely she got that from him. I mean, she's his daughter, so she learns everything from him. But yeah.
I like that you said loving because there is a lot of sides to Roman. And I like that, Valeria would be able to pick up on that from him because, even throughout the choices that are being made by each of your characters, at the heart of it, all of you are still loving. So I
Yeah.
appreciate
And
that
and
you
that's
said.
what Valeria sees mostly at first.
Until the layers are pulled, back from her eyes, I
Yeah.
think a little
But
bit
really,
more.
he wouldn't get into all of this trouble if he didn't love you so much.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so that is really the
Yeah.
love for his daughter is at the core of the whole goddamn mess. Yeah.
Yes. And honestly, being a parent and, just being like, by any means necessary, I'm going to protect, my child. So here we
You're
go.
welcome, guys.
It's all for you. And
Yeah.
next, I'll go to you, Laura. What do you think that, Janice teaches Roman on this journey that he goes on? And what do you think that she learns from Roman?
What do I think that she learns from Roman?
Hmm.
Janice and Roman at the start of the series, they have a smooth running, really close, very successful working relationship. They've worked together for quite a while. He's in many ways saved her life in the past before the series begins. So she trusts him and feels that she owes her life to him. So there's not a lot that she won't do for him. And she's really stressed out and worried for him when he gets deeply embroiled in his brother's cartel again. And I think what she learns from him, her love for him and her desire to keep him safe forces her or confronts her to learn how many moral points she will cross to keep that safe. And what do I teach Roman? I think that I become more and more his conscience as the show goes on. And so he's like a steam train going in one direction towards danger. And I think that Janice is teaching him constantly that he needs to take a step back and reassess the people that he's building relationships with. And whether or not she succeeds in that, I don't know, but I think that she gives him pause.
A steam train is the perfect analogy. That is perfect for Roman. And last but certainly not least, for you, Tania, Marisol, what do you think that Marisol teaches Roman on this journey? Because he's digging himself deeper and deeper and deeper, and she's trying to be the little angel on his shoulder. But also, what do you think that she learns from Roman, as they keep going?
Yeah, I think when the show starts at the beginning of their relationship, they have a lot of things in common. One of the things in common they have is that they're both good people with good intentions and they want to do good. I think as the show goes on, you start seeing him derailing from that. So I think she learns from him that she shouldn't trust him fully. And she also learns that maybe she should take a step forward in taking more care of Valeria. And I think what he learns is that Marisol is not just going to agree with everything he says. So I think at some point he takes steps back from her, because that otherwise it's going to be a conflict for him having to face her, and because they're not going to agree. So they learn that they need to put some distance, you would say, in that sense.
Yeah,
they start
that makes
being
sense.
a bit conflicted.
Yeah, because in a lot of ways, it feels like Marisol is only thinking of Valeria. From her point of view, she's like, "Are you even considering your child? Because look at all the things that you're doing."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, listen, I am absolutely loving the show. Like I said, I need to finish ASAP. I am so excited for everyone to see this. And just thank you to the three of you for taking time to chat with Nerdophiles. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
so
We really
much.
appreciate it.